Hello and welcome to your match build-up. West Ham United against Bournemouth. Happy New Year, one and all. Happy New Year. Pleased for you to join us. We're going to have a quick look at the scores around the grounds before we look at the lineups, which are due out in 3-4 minutes time. It does seem that there's a big player missing for West Ham, unfortunately. It looks like Gonzo's frozen, so good start to the show, Hammer Chat. Well done, boys. Start the year as you mean to go on and all that. Anyway, so earlier Aston Villa obviously won. Aston Villa won earlier. Gonzo, what do you make of that? Can you hear me all right? Oh, he's frozen. I think he's frozen again. We'll try and get him back again. But Aston Villa obviously won away to Burnley earlier, so that's massive for them. It put us in the bottom three. The 12:30 games knocked West Ham back into the bottom three, and then as it stands right now, I'm literally got on my television, it's Watford 2, Wolves 1, so that would move Watford, that would put Watford equal points with us, so we're now joint second bottom essentially. So there's big pressure going on, massive pressure on West Ham, massive pressure on us heading into tonight's games. I mean, Gonzo, just saying, results couldn't have been worse for us today.
It looks terrible, yeah.
We've lost him again. I think we might have to ditch Gonzo for this one, unfortunately. That's a bit of a shame. But Watford are currently 2-1 up. There was another one. Southampton are currently, let's see, they still are. Yes, they're still beating Spurs 1-0 as well. So they're starting to pull away from us at the bottom of the table. It's not looking pretty. There we are, 18th in the league, equal points with Watford, a point behind Bournemouth. But this puts Southampton, if they hang on, this puts Southampton up to 12th in the league. Saying that, bit of activity over at Watford. They've just had a player sent off. They're down to 10 men for the last 20 minutes. So I think as West Ham fans, this is what it's come to. We're now hoping that Wolves can grab an equaliser against them in this game. The team news will be out in 30 seconds or something. Now we believe Michail Antonio is out. The rumours are that Antonio is not playing today and he has failed a late fitness test, but we'll get confirmation of that in 30 seconds. And David Moyes is sticking with the back four, which makes sense. He's only had 2 days at the most training with the players, so to try and get them to transition over to a back five almost immediately is not the easiest task in the book. But we'll wait for the lineups to come out any second now. We should get confirmation that Antonio is missing. So it's a bit of a blow for David Moyes, actually. I feel a bit sorry for Moyes if Antonio's out, because that's the last thing you need, isn't it? Your first game as manager, back as manager. Here we go. Team news is out. So West Ham's team: Fabianski in goal, Fredericks, Balbuena, Ogbonna and Creswell at the back, Declan Rice, Mark Noble in midfield with Snodgrass, Pablo Fornals, Felipe Anderson, and then they've also got Sebastian Aller up front. Looking at that, I suppose you could look at it two ways. He's either going to a flat 4-5-1 formation, perhaps, and maybe with Snodgrass and Fornals out wide and Anderson playing just off Felipe Anderson playing off Sebastian Aller. Or it could be that he's going maybe 4-3-3 and putting Robert Snodgrass in midfield with Rice and Mark Noble, with Fornals and Anderson both maybe playing the number 10 sort of role. Gonzo, can you hear us okay yet? No, I'll take that as a no. It's Skype. Skype's playing up for some reason. I'll try to get him on an audio call only, and then we'll see if that can work out. The bench for West Ham is Roberto, Zabaleta, Lanzini, Sanchez, Diop, Masuaku and Ajeti. And there you go. There we have confirmation that no Antonio whatsoever. Gonzo's on the Skype call, but can you hear me? No, that is a no. Skype is just absolutely knackered for us tonight, I think. I'm sorry for that. Hopefully it'll be fixed for the review. We'll try to get that one sorted. But the Bournemouth lineup, which is just equally as important, I guess, looks at a glance looks like Howe's, well, he's going for it, isn't he? So Ramsdale's in goal. There's been a good point there, actually. Contact Light said it looks like Rice could be slipping into the back to make it 3-5-2. I'm not sure he is because he's got Creswell. I think if it was 3-5-2, I think he'd be playing Masuaku in the left wing back role. The Bournemouth team, he's got Ramsdale in goal as expected. The defence, he's got Rico, Cook, Memphis and Francis. There's a weak point already, we'll get on to that in a second. His midfield three, he's got Lewis Cook, Dan Gosling and Lerma, and then he's got the front three of Solanke, Callum Wilson. He loves us. Callum Wilson loves us. And Harry Wilson on the right wing. That Francis has got to be their weak spot. He's got to be. I think he's slow. I think he was good. He's very reliable and stuff, but I just think he's slow now. This way, we have to get Felipe Anderson ideally out on the left. We haven't seen the best of Felipe Anderson on the left this season, but he's got pace. Fornals doesn't have pace. Fornals is doing well out there, but he's just not got the speed. Similar formation still. I think we're both playing 4-3-3. If you had to ask me what I think West Ham are playing, I'm going to say I think that we're playing a back four, Rice, Noble and Snodgrass in the middle with Fornals and Anderson playing sort of either side of Sebastian Haller, however you want to look at it. So we'll wait and see. Time will tell during the game what David Moyes is planning. Right, maybe it was this a 6th time looking maybe. Can you hear me, Gonzo? No, he cannot. We'll just ditch that one. The Bournemouth bench. What's this? Mia Dobry? Who on earth is that? I don't know who that is. Boric, the keeper, Stanislas, Simpson, Sermon, Fraser and Billy. Now immediately I'm already looking at that thinking we've got a better bench than them. I think if it was 0-0 going into the hour mark, I'd be thinking we've got the likes of Lanzini on there. Masuaku can obviously give us something going forward as well. So I actually think we've got a better bench in Bournemouth. But this game it was a 6-pointer. It was already a big game, especially with David Moyes coming back and stuff. A bit of pressure on David Moyes. But with the results gone the way they have with Villa and going the way they are with Watford, this game is huge. If we do not win tonight, even if we just draw, we finish this round of fixtures in the bottom 3. We go into the FA Cup at the weekend in the bottom 3. It's a long time till the next game. Well, it feels like it's a long time anyway. It's the first time we'll be sitting in the bottom 3 as well. So it's just not good at all. I do feel for David Moyes though. No Antonio's huge. Your first game as West Ham manager, the last thing you want. But there has been a few clues. In training yesterday night, when the club put up their videos and their photos and stuff, Antonio's not in them. So this isn't a surprise to Moyes. He's not lost Antonio at the last minute. He's known, I'd imagine, since he's come in that Antonio is out. So I expect him to have been training without Mikel Antonio in contention for starting as well. Because you don't go from maybe not playing to starting straight away, do you? If he passed his fitness test, I'd imagine he would be on the bench as well. Thomas has just said, do you think because we're starting the game in bottom 3, the players would be nervous? I think they would be nervous anyway, to be honest with you, Thomas. I think there's a lot of pressure. The players are all on social media these days, and they will know that the feeling towards David Moyes is not the most welcoming it could be. That a lot of people are a bit confused as to why we're going backwards. And that's what people's opinions are. So I think the players will be picking up on it. But they would, well, no doubt they would have been together today having their lunch or whatever, and they would have seen that Villa's won. They'll know fine well that Watford's winning right now as well, and it's just not good at all. I know some people are saying get Gonzo on the phone, but truth be told, I don't know how you work that. To be honest with you, I don't know how you can get the phone call through, but we can certainly try something. I've got an idea actually. If you give me a second, Gonzo, if you're watching this, I'm waiting to give you a message on WhatsApp. I've got a bit of an idea of how we can maybe get this to work. And we'll try ring him up. I've got a bit of an idea. It's still currently Watford 2, Wolves 1, and I think the Saints are still winning. Otherwise, someone would have put in the chat that's been a draw. Sofiane just updating what ex-West employees said on Twitter. Apparently, Antonio will probably miss Gillingham and the Sheffield United game as well. So he will actually miss the next league game as well, which is not good, is it? Massive player. The rumours have been coming out over the last day or so about the transfer window as well. Apparently we've got 20 £25 million to spend, but David Moyes has said that if we have to get a 30-year-old in, we're going to have to get a 30-year-old in. So that's not the most reassuring thing. If you wanted a young, pacey player coming in or something, I think we can forget that already. I think we are going to. I think we're very much going to be going for the cheap signings in January. And it makes the Joe Allen one much more likely, in my opinion. For this game, like I said, I think Francis is their weakness at the right back. We have to get at him. Where's our weakness? I don't know, really. I think we'll be defensively set up. I think it's a strong team, actually, from us. Antonio was the only one missing. I think we'd have started. But we've got Fernandez in form. We've got Anderson, who wasn't enjoying it under Pellegrini. So this is Felipe Anderson's chance now. This is his chance to show that actually it's almost Pellegrini's fault that he hasn't been doing very well. This is where Felipe Anderson has to show that Pellegrini is to blame. Well, we've got Gonzo now. This is working. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I'm trying everything. I've got your text about my about trying my phone, which is what I'm on at the moment. So
it's working perfectly fine.
Let me plug this in.
Right. Have you heard the lineup?
I've not. I've been trying to. I've been phoning you about 20 times, mate, and then trying to find my phone.
I'll run through the lineup with you. Antonio's out as we expected, so we've got Fabianski in goal. We've got Fredericks, Balbuena, Ogbonna, and Creswell at the back. Rice.
Hold on. Fredericks, Bal. So 4, you think?
Yeah. And then we've got Rice and Noble, Allaire up front, and then the other 3 is Fornals, Anderson, and Snodgrass. So there's a bit of confusion as to where Snodgrass is playing. I think he'll be in centre midfield. I think we'll play a 4-3-3. I think that's what we'll do. It looks like Bournemouth are playing 4-3-3, so I think it's a very like-for-like formation from both sides. He just doesn't have time. I mean, when you think about it, Gonzo, David Moyes has been here for a day. He's not got time to teach Balbuena and Diop how to play in a back 3. He just doesn't have it. Perhaps for the FA Cup game, we might see it given a trial. But for Sheffield United, I'd expect it to come in maybe. But for this one, he's just not had time. He's got to stick with the back 4, and it looks like he's bulking up the midfield a little bit.
Oh, I didn't expect any of that. Certainly, it was not expected by any of us, really, was it? Let's be fair. So it's weird, really weird one. But pivotal stuff. I'm assuming that I cut out completely before, and you didn't hear what I had to say. But when you asked about the fixtures and the other results in other games and whatnot, but this is as worried as I've been in quite some time as a West Ham fan. This game coming up here, because it's absolutely crucial. Yeah, I guess it makes sense that if he's not had time to work on the back 3, of course, but this is not one we can afford to get wrong. We have to win this game. I know only half the season's gone, but this is a funny Premier League. It's almost like that Premier League where Leicester won the league in that sense, and I know it's not like that at the top, but it's a weird one in the rest. There's no absolute nailed-on relegation team, as you referred to earlier on in the week. Even Norwich look like they can get a point here and there. The Watford situation appears to be a masterstrokes. Southampton, when I was mucking around with it, trying to get, they were beating Tottenham 1-0.
Still 1-0.
Watford were winning, I think by 2-0 quite possibly. So
2-1.
Okay, but it's still these are teams in form. Everybody has form, almost aside from us and Bournemouth, really. So crucial times, crucial game today. Absolutely crucial game.
For those that have just joined us later on, because a lot of you have joined watching live halfway through onwards, and Gonzo's obviously missed it. The Bournemouth team, just to run through it quickly before we disappear, and I'll get Gonzo's final thoughts. They've got Ramsdale in goal. They've got a back 4. Oh, this is off the top of my head now. I'm just getting the team up. Rico, Cook, Mempham, and Francis. The midfield 3, I think they're playing 4-3-3 here. Lerma, Gosling, and Lewis Cook. And then their front 3, they've got Slanke, Callum Wilson, and Harry Wilson as well.
Well,
it's beatable. It's beatable.
Well, yeah, one of the Wilsons is a concern. I'm not particularly impressed with that midfield, has to be said. This is there. We've got to do it. We've got to do it, and we've got to move on from there. We really have to. This is all about, clearly this is all about today's game, but the goalposts have been moved by all the other teams. This is absolutely crucial. We've almost got to forget about the ghost of the ghost of Callum Wilson from Christmas past, so to speak. Not worry about him too much. We just got to defend, do our stuff, but we have to win. A draw is probably not good enough here.
No.
There will not be too many times in the remainder of the season where we will play teams as poor as Bournemouth are at this particular time. Bournemouth might not even be poor themselves in 6 weeks' time. Players might come back, things might change. At the moment, every point is crucial. For a few seasons now, Gio, I think we've seen you didn't need 41 points to stay up. It's known as the magical number. Get to 40, 41 points. There have been some seasons where 36, 37 have been enough and stuff like that. I think we might be in for a 41-point season to stay up this season. So every 3 points is crucial.
Yeah, a point's not enough for me, Gonzo. We draw today. We finished the round of fixtures in the bottom three. It's as simple as that. Watford hang on. It's the 83rd minute right now. If they hang on to this win, they're down to 10 men, by the way, Watford, Gonzo. They're winning 2-1, but they're down to 10 men. But if they hang on, that shows a big thing of character for them to hang on for 20 minutes with 10 men against Wolves at home. It's a big test of their mentality strength here. And if they hang on, this will be like the elation they're going to feel at full time. This will carry on. This is their momentum. They've already got a bit of momentum, but this will just keep it going completely. So it's just... a draw's not enough. We finished this round of fixtures in bottom three if we draw tonight. It's not good enough. Sheffield United away is our next league game. It's not getting easier. It's not getting any easier at all. We have it's 3 points tonight. And listen, I'm not going to blame David Moyes if we don't win, unless he does stupid substitutions and stuff. You can certainly blame him for this one game. But what you can't do is blame him for being in the bottom three. And that's two completely different things. But he's got to go for the win. And this is why, it's funny enough, it's this exact fixture that made me not want David Moyes when he was first here. I remember it being at home, drawing 1-1 against Bournemouth, 10 minutes to go and he took off two strikers and put on a midfielder and a defender, and I thought, nah, I've had it with this guy. Like, he's at home, 10 minutes ago, hanging on to a 1-1 draw. And if he does that again today, that's when fans are already going to be fed up. Fans are going to say, oh, forget it, we're not going to do much for this guy if he doesn't want to win at home to Bournemouth. He has to go for the 3 points. Will we get them? You're hesitant. You're quite confident in the preview, but you're getting a bit hesitant now.
It's done me. The other fixtures have done me. The build-up's done me. No, I don't think we will. I think they're going to come and surprise us and shock us. It's stripped all my confidence away, Gio. Missing Antonio is massive. It really is huge. This player, as I was saying before you come on, Felipe Anderson didn't like under Pellegrini towards the end and stuff. He's got to step up. He's got to show that Pellegrini was the problem today and it wasn't him. He's not the problem. He was mismanaged in that. And I think we will get a reaction from Anderson. Fornals is in good form. Allaire needs to do something. We know the midfield three that we've got are going to battle hard, regardless of who we play. They're going to fight for it in there. But you can fight for it and not be good enough, and that's a bit of a problem. We have to... we just have to win. There's a few people in live chats here who might be playing three at the back with Vice Babwena and Ogbonna in there. I'm not convinced we are, because I would have expected Masuaku to play if we were playing three at the back. I'd have expected him to be the left wing back. I'd be surprised if he's kept Creswell there, given how good Masuaku did under David Moyes previously. He did play once at left wing back under Moyes. Creswell did, maybe even twice. It did happen.
So we'll wait and see. But the good thing is, you can adapt during the game as well. If we're not playing well with four at the back, he can switch to the five at the back if he has to. Can I get your final words and your score prediction, please, Gonzo?
Do you know what? I'm going to stick, regardless. I can't let the last hour influence my score prediction, so I'm going to stick with West Ham 2, Bournemouth 0. It has really got me worried. And as I always say to you, G, about these videos, if I'm feeling something, if you're feeling something, there's going to be people watching these videos are going to be feeling the same thing. Not everyone's always going to agree with everything we say, but there'll be a number of people out there who are going to be really, really worried, and I'm very worried. I was actually quite looking forward to this morning. I said to a couple of people who I was speaking to this morning, actually, I'm quite looking forward to the game, quite excited about it. That excitement's turned to worry, Gio, real worry. We'll see everybody afterwards and see where we are, obviously.
Yeah, it's squeaky bum time. I'm going to go for a 1-0 West Ham win. I think it's time to shithouse it essentially. I think we will do that, but I'll take it. I'll take it right now. All that matters today is the 3 points at the end of the day. Even if we have one shot on target today and we score it, they have 20 shots on target. If we win 1-0, I'll take it right now. We'll be back with the review straight after full time right here on this channel, no matter what the result is. Gonzo might be on his phone, but apologies for that earlier. But we got there in the end. We got there in the end, and hopefully West Ham will get there in the end today as well. I've been Geo, it's been Gonzo, been Ham Chat. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here, and we'll see you at full time. Catch you in a bit.